Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
I'm feeling fly, yeah, I'm so damn fresh. Got that platinum grill, bringing in the chest. Diamonds in my mouth, shining when I speak. That umbrella guy, flossing speaking geek. Ice on my teeth, I'm dripping so hard. Platinum grills, I'm the king of the boulevard. Throwing money in the club, making haters mad. I'm the baddest in the game, no one gets a pass. Ooh yeah. Crushing all these lines, yeah, I feel fly. Rolling on the dubs, that umbrella guy. Iced out cold on the boulevard. You ain't a comic gangster, don't be playing hard. Ice on my teeth, I'm flying so high. Dropping the bass, that umbrella guy. One drill to rule them all, one drill to bind them. Baby, I'm so iced out, gonna blind them. Rolling in town, I'm an army of one. Doing verbal walk-bys, blazing like the sun. Riding in my whip, crushing false accusers. Dropping off the bass on the real abusers. Yeah. Living life fast, no time for the slow. Justice on my mind, stacking up on that flow. Life in the fast lane, no time to blink. Ice on my teeth, watch it when I speak. Chillin' on my rhymes, never missing a beat. Ice on my teeth, yeah, I'm living that sweet. That umbrella guy, bringing the platinum heat. Crushing every hater, no time for defeat. Ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah, indeed. Man, how's it going, folks? Welcome to a Thursday edition of Craziness Never Ends. How you doing, Megan?
Just strapped up to my blood pressure monitor. God, dang it.
That's how I do a lot of these. I'm like sitting here, you know. It's so nuts, you know. I'm like, I never imagined that. Hey, let's make sure that when I'm laughing at stupid, it doesn't actually put me in the ground.
Yeah. Apparently, the reading at the doctor's office wasn't a blip, and I have high blood pressure. I'm very disappointed by it. Very disappointed in my blood system. My circulatory system.
That's what I was like. I'm betrayed. How dare you betray me?
Yeah. And then I'm gonna have to go get the sleep apnea thing. Like, this has really turned out to be a really great month.
I know. Monday I got that CCTA, which today was a weird conversation about that. So they give you, you know, I've never done this before. So they give you a pill that slows everything down. It slows down your heart rate, which will collapse your blood pressure. And I was like,
wait a minute, I already have that.
Yeah, I was like, I take a medication for that. And they were like, yeah, you should be okay. I was like, I don't like the word should. And I was like, should be okay?
Yeah, why don't you just not take your pill? Right?
Exactly.
Just don't take the one to make your blood pressure go up, and it should bottom out, right?
Well, I was like, that doesn't sound like fun. You know, and then after that, for the next test, so there's 2 tests on that day. So to counter the effects of all of that, they give you a nitro pill, you know, to get everything back to normal. I was like, what?
No.
They were like, yeah, and different people describe it different ways. I was like, well, it sounds like a nightmare to me. And the lady was like, I was like, I'm not really joking. Oh, man.
God, getting old sucks.
Yep.
I'm not
like,
even
well.
50 yet. I still have a whole other year to go. This shit wasn't supposed to start happening until 50. I feel betrayed.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm like, now I understand why my grandparents were so freaking ornery sometimes. No, I get it. I totally get it now. But oh well, it'll at least be
Oh, well.
interesting. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I mean, hey,
we were saying, between the two of us, we have one healthy host. I've got high blood pressure. You have low blood pressure. You put us together, and we're perfect.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we get evened out ratings. Actually, when it bottoms out, you showed me that rating, and I was thinking when I saw it, I was like, if you really did stick that in to my ratings, it would even it out to like normal, maybe a little high, but it'd still be normal right there.
Yeah.
It would.
Yep.
So it's correct. The joke is real.
The joke is real. The joke is real.
Oh man. Oh, thanks, folks, by the way, for being here. We're gonna have some interesting stuff to read tonight. This is actually a kind of a long document too. It's a 97-pager, although to be fair, you knock off a few pages at the beginning. This is kind of interesting. So I was pointing this out to Megan. Give me a minute. I'm gonna pull this up and make sure it shares.
Yeah,
let's
we have
try
to make
this.
sure chat. Make sure you tell us if you can't see what's on the screen. It should be there now.
Let me see. I'm gonna switch it back and forth. Okay,
now it should be there now.
I switched it back. Let's see. Give it one second.
Waiting for
It'll go
you
black.
to-
Nope. There it goes. Okay, it's on there. I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm checking it with my phone.
No,
too,
just
so-
don't unshare it, because then you'll have to go through it again.
Yeah. Actually, it shared the first time, so it did,
good.
and then I hit the delay thing. I was too slow.
So this is the deposition, you guys, of Amanda Martin.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting about this, and I was talking to Megan about it because I thought this was fascinating. You have your index, which that's typical, right? Notice, by the way, BBB only does a few pages across. Like almost everything. Directed by Shock, it goes from page 4 to 71. That's when BBB kicks in. And then the redirect is happening by 78.
Huh. And then by 79, there's the
and then
certificate of
it's
oath.
boom. That's
So he's
all of
only
it.
got one page.
Yeah, the cross is 7 pages is what it is. And then that redirect is Randy there. So the rest of it is certificate of oaths. But the interesting thing about this is there's a certified question. Now, I don't recall these, this being a typical thing that you see. If I have seen it before, it's not registering on me right now.
I can't say I've ever seen that.
Yeah. Oh, it's my phone. Give me a second. Forgot to.
The chat,
I always like.
Chat is
like
saying
the
I'm sounding fuzzy. Do I sound fuzzy? Is my microphone acting up
I don't
again?
hear it at all. If you sound fuzzy, I don't hear it.
I hear it, but I hope the chat's not hearing it. I have microphone problems.
I can't hear it at all. Like, no. I mean,
My microphone died. My microphone didn't die.
I don't hear your microphone being dead. So, yeah, people are saying it. It sounds great to them.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've got headphones on. If there were any kind of real issues, that's the way you hear it. So,
Right.
and new audio cords and everything, So,
Perfect.
I love this audio cord. I'm like, sucker, I paid $30 freaking something for you.
Yeah, I'm starting to think it might be my headphones, because one of them keeps shorting out. So I think maybe it's my headphones. I got to get new ones.
I kept having this weird thing where, you were talking about that pop in your microphone sometimes you could hear in your headphones. So I went through everything. I went through all the wiring that has anything to do, and I replaced it little by little, because good Lord, the cost of it, I was shocked by. And I even went for the audio cords that went into my headphones. I was surprised. I did buy a cheaper. Now you can buy a cheaper one. I bought one for $7, I think, at Walmart, and it sounded like it cost $7.
Yeah, that's the problem with the $7 cords.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
found that
it's
out the hard way too.
I was like, this is butt. But anyway, I had the certified question here. This is something I don't remember seeing
Yeah,
in
I've never
other
seen
Depo.
it.
Yeah. So it points out on page 50. But now this is interesting because we've heard about this before, of course. It's a question saying, do you know that your son had what's called an incident? What's called an incident? I like the way that's worded. Did you know your son had what's called an incident with Mr.
Doesn't sound
Hales?
good.
Yeah, that's
And barbecues. I love the name barbecues. By the way, I just found out what it is. So, a certified question in a deposition is a question that a witness refuses to answer, or an attorney instructs not to answer for some reason. The question is marked by the court reporter for later reference, and the question may be submitted to the court for a ruling on whether the witness has to answer it or not.
Give me a second, then. I'm curious about that. I'm going to roll down just to find out why that happened. No. Actually, I don't see the question right there on 55. Maybe it's the way no, that's the right page. It says, I don't know. We'll when we run across that question about barbecues.
Hopefully, we'll get to page 55.
Yeah, when we run across it, regardless, chat, if we for some reason forget to note that, make sure that, because I want to know, there was discussion, we had heard that that there was a little interruption in there. You remember that being discussed?
Yeah.
There was, we had BBB stepping up and stepping in when he wasn't supposed to be. So I'm curious if she refused to answer it, or if she was directed by somebody that shouldn't be telling her not to answer it.
Interesting. I don't think he could, though, because he's not her attorney.
Even then, though, apparently, he was. Well, again, from what we heard in that one video, he was doing things he wasn't supposed to. And well, how many things has he done that he's not supposed to do? Let's be honest. True.
This is also true.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, could he have done it? Yeah, probably. By the way, folks, 3,100 of you already as we build. That's pretty damn good, actually, for us only being. It took me a few extra minutes. Everything. When one thing goes weird, everything goes weird. My sound levels weren't working when I came in. At least share worked today, though.
Your microphone wasn't working. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I mean, when I popped in, it's like it's gotten to the point. It's almost comical, when you pop in with the other person, like, there's a problem. I'll wait for them to fix it real quick. I wonder how the evidence thing went today too, because Jeremy Hales, he made his call for evidence yesterday. I wonder. I
haven't heard from him, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on that either. I hope all of that went well. I know there were a lot of people bringing up quite a bit of some fascinating stuff. Somebody showed, before we get started on this, you remember that thing I showed you earlier? You think I should show that?
The thing you showed me earlier.
Somebody's, let's see, I'm going to say relation that was talking today.
Oh, yeah.
They had an account.
Yes, that was hilarious. You should show it. It's funny.
Okay, give me 1 second. I want to show you folks. You all want to see something really crazy. I got to send it over to myself real quick, but it's
really weird.
Yeah, it's actually very worth it, to be honest. I would have never thought about them even having an account, but somebody sent that over today. So, not to be mysterious about it, it'll just take me a minute to send everything over. Somebody sent over a screenshot today, and I went and looked up the account. It was actually an account on Threads, and it was the account of one Stark's wife.
Stark's wife.
Yeah, and
Gene Stark. That would be the parasistent spouse.
Yeah, indeed. Give me 1 minute. Good Lord. Apparently, that thing that wouldn't deliver today? There was one of those messages. That's what it was. Because it's trying to resend it to you. Yeah, remember I told you something wouldn't deliver to you?
Yeah, I've had people trying to call me too, saying that they're getting blocked and they think my phone is just blocking them for no
Yeah,
reason.
it was. Well, when I tried to send that over to you today, it didn't send. So I was wondering. I was like, huh. So it didn't send everything with it. So I'm sending this over to myself real quick. Just give me a minute. So anyway, she has a Threads account, and she sits around and talks to herself. I mean, she has no one else listening at all. Like it's wild. I went through and looked at it because I was curious about how much conversation was there. But there was one particular screenshot that was, well, it was really fascinating because I don't know. Again, I can't say it's over this for sure. I mean, maybe there's something else going on, but it sure as shit seems like it's about this case.
What is the date? Is there a date on it too?
Yeah, this is new. I took it. It was a few hours old. I took a screenshot of it myself. It was brand new. Yeah.
And this is the second thing like this we've seen her post.
Yeah.
She posted something else like this on one of those review pages where they're arguing with people giving them bad reviews.
Mm-hmm.
She posted something very similar about expecting a large chunk of money.
So check this out, folks. She posted. Let me make sure that this shares. Give me 1 minute. I'm waiting for there, it did share again.
Yay.
Yeah.
So you're not having the problem I did yesterday. Okay,
no,
that's good.
Hopefully that was just them having a rollout issue with this
Yeah.
new thing. And it's a useless feature they rolled out.
We can't even figure out how to use it.
Yeah. It shows, it says, hey, you can make your backgrounds and stuff. You can line it up like a PowerPoint presentation. It's like, cool. Only there's no way to add anything to it.
Yeah, you can't add anything.
Yeah, it's just like a blank background. So I think it was
So
getting stuck
stupid.
on the blank background. So here she is, though. And I mean, just look at what she's saying. It has been revealed to me that when I get my money, my cash, my dollar signs, big money, I will get a Mercedes because no one now will help us. Wait, what?
What? Is that what happens when no one helps you? You get a Mercedes for your time in purgatory or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, when else? Well, I went through this account. I was curious about it, and it definitely, you can tell it's the same person because it's got that, that glamour shot we were talking about.
The glamour shot that you and I use. Yes.
Yeah, it's got that same image.
Here,
You can see it up there in the corner.
I have to change my avatar. Hold, please. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, there. This one. She's look at her avatar. She's using this photo. That's where I got it, by the way.
She's talking about all the time that they don't have they can't make rent. They struggle to get enough money. And again, she's just talking to herself all the time. Like,
but
there's
what is
no
this?
one
It
else.
has been revealed to me. Like,
Yeah.
did you go to a psychic? Or like, are there voices talking to you? Are there
It's so
voices in the
strange.
room now?
When I get my big money cash prizes,
And what
And
was this posted on?
this is off of Threads. This is on the
Like YouTube or?
no, it's on Threads.
I don't know what Threads
the
is.
failed site. It's Facebook's version of
Instagram or something.
more like a Twitter, I guess.
Oh.
Because they have Facebook has Instagram and then
Threads. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Threads.
Yeah, it's boring. And
I'm like,
it's
you
crap.
mean a Facebook thread? What? I'm like an old woman.
It's just no. I remember when it came up because I checked it out, and it was boring. It's as boring as you have two that I guess they.
I
work
have
now.
some threads in my sewing machine. Let me get my blood pressure cuff on. Maybe I'll understand it better.
Well, what's bad is, so I looked at the like here. This was one random line. I was curious. Over there, it'll show you who likes stuff. Unlike, say, Twitter, you can actually still see it. And it was a spam bot account. It was one that was sharing explicit stuff. So you can't see the comment. No. I figure it was blocked from showing whatever it did. So yeah, I mean, if you go through here, like, she's just talking to herself all day long.
Valerie said, "Don't feel bad, Megan. I thought it was a yarn store." Yes, this is Attorney Stark's wife, Jean.
She's like, hub and I have had no car since 2021. It malfunctioned. We have to spend
Like their
everything in rent.
computer. Just
If
like
that
their
is a
computer.
problem for you, come talk to me. What does that mean? If that is a problem for you, come talk to me. What? You know,
Who is she even talking to?
herself. I mean, because nobody interacts with the account at all. Like I went through and it's like, man, this account is talking.
So she's just
to
talking
itself.
to herself.
Yeah, and you know, somebody said in the chat, well, maybe it's about a life insurance thing. Well, you know, I guess I could see that. That'd be pretty morose to sit around being like, hey, when I collect that big life insurance.
Yeah, when my husband kicks it, I'm gonna buy a Mercedes. This is very strange for her to be posting on Threads to no one.
Yeah, well, and to talk about that big money, you know, there's one thing that we do know that has been that has come up that again, I'm guessing. I have no backstage knowledge of anything on this, but I did think it was interesting. Again, what would motivate these people to get involved in this case and really not spill the beans? And the other thing is, can they be that stupid to think they're going to get a giant payday? They know they can't get it off the thumbnail litigation. Have they been promised something like with federal litigation?
I don't know.
I'm curious. I'm very curious because, you know, here's the thing. If all these people indeed are some kind of conspiracy, there has to be a way to keep your conspirators from telling on you, at least while the conspiracy, you know, it's more active. Yeah. Later on, it may fall apart, but while everything's active, you have to wonder. And again, I wonder what the hell would motivate Stark has no idea what's going on. I mean, you can tell, like we've talked about before. So to see this and to see big money discussion, it does make you wonder. Again, they can clarify that. And like I said, I don't specifically know why. It makes me go,
Yeah, this is very strange. And this is the second one I've seen her posting online about a big chunk of money she thinks she's going to come into.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. It does sound like a psychic, though. It has been revealed to me. That really does.
The chat suggested maybe she talked to Miss Cleo. I don't know.
I wondered if you'd gotten your little crystal ball out and did a reading for her, too.
You know, I could. If she would like to contact me, I can put on my my court prognosticator little scarf and gaze into my crystal ball and tell her what's going to happen. Let me see. Hold on. Let me concentrate. All right, Jean, I'm looking into my crystal ball for you, and I see nothing. I see no pot of money, and I see probably more bankruptcy. Sorry.
No Lucky the Leprechaun at the end? Oh, no.
No.
That's not fair.
Wait, I've used the wrong voice.
I should have used this one. Jean, I see nothing in your future but more bankruptcy.
I feel like I called like a 1980s 1-900 number. 1-900 get rich. Oh man, you know they had those for everything back in the day. They did.
Press 1 for a female psychic. Press 2 for a warlock.
Even they got so crazy that even Freddy Krueger had a call-in line. I was like, why
Speaking of horror movies, I watched it. I did it. I watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it, actually.
Yes, that is amazing.
I can't believe I loved it. But I did. I did.
As long as you don't watch part 2, you'll be okay. Because part 2, you'll be like, what happened to this crap? You know?
Okay, I won't watch part 2. But I did really like it. I can't believe I liked it because I don't like scary things. But I laughed more than I was scared. I laughed a lot in that movie. Except in the beginning. Poor little Georgie. That was the worst part.
Hey, Joe says the book is better. Yeah, if you skip a certain scene in that book, it's a lot better. And there's a certain scene, I won't name what happens in that scene,
Oh,
but
I
yuck.
heard about that.
Yeah, double, triple yuck. But actually, the book is an amazing book. It really is. Yeah.
Well, thank God that they didn't put it in the movie. They were smart
yeah.
enough not to do that.
Oh, yeah. That, even, they had 2 directors that were attached to that. And even the more, I'm going to say spicy one was like, nah, none of that. And now it's
Yeah,
right from
that's
go.
gross.
Yeah, very much so. But that book is, I mean, it's wild. They actually give a lot more background with Pennywise. They're talking about a Pennywise series. They're supposed to be making it, or maybe they've already made it. And they're
Well, I
figuring out
am
when to drop it.
curious. I am curious about who Pennywise is. That wasn't really answered in the movie.
In the second movie, it will, and I mean, if you want to watch, I don't want to say the second movie. When you have the first to the second, Stephen King has this issue of finishing a book. He does a very bad issue with that, and that's the way this goes. I do like parts of it. The book, I mean, when you combine all of the story, he actually does really good with that as a book. But when they anytime they try to go and convert it to film, they were kind of a mess at the end. So yeah, but still, I mean, it's not, I'm not going to say it's horrible or anything, and it will answer questions, but sometimes I like my questions unanswered.
Oh my God, poor Jacqueline. She said, I want nothing to do with anything that has sewers in it. I have a fear of sewers. Bullies stuck me down one when I was only 5. That's terrifying.
Well,
which is really weird because that's what this movie is about. It's about bullies.
And one of the bullies gets eaten in a sewer, so
which is pretty great. I liked that scene.
Yeah, so I mean,
I also liked the Rock War. That was fun.
Yeah,
it had such a good 80s feel to it. I do love 80s.
There's a 1990s miniseries that was TV made miniseries for that, and that was a good one. I actually liked the miniseries. Now I saw it when I was growing up, so I'm kind of partial to it. But
yeah. When the chat is saying was it the original with Tim Curry? No. But what is that the miniseries?
Yeah. Tim Curry plays it.
Of course, he would make a perfect Pennywise.
Yeah, he was great with it. I mean, he made that. But I mean, you had a really good a good cast with it too. No, I'm talking about the 2017 movie. That 2017 movie was a really good movie, though. I was shocked. I thought, man, this is gonna be a garbage movie. There's no way.
I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. I thought it had a real similar feel to Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And we love Stranger Things. My whole family loves it. And it was very similar to me.
Well,
it wasn't any scarier. That last season of Stranger Things was one of the scariest things I've seen. That was almost too much for me.
There's not a lot of real horror TV. I mean, it's a weird, creepy horror, but yeah, that one I actually have enjoyed Stranger. There's been a few soft seasons in that, but the first and so far the last have been really, really good, I thought. Anyway, we had a point today. Let's get on our point.
Sorry, we were going to get to this, and we're going to read this deposition.
So
I will be Amanda Martin, and you will be Shockett, and then we'll figure out Manskin when we get there.
We'll figure it out when we get there. I doubt we'll get there tonight. I just don't see that happening.
Okay.
Okay, so we have our swear in. So we can actually skip our swear in. We'll pick up on line 6 here. If anybody's wondering, that's what that is. We're just skipping over the swear in part. Okay. Good morning, Miss Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. That would be funny if she started singing.
She would have sang it. That would be really funny. It would have had something that's in here in parentheses. Deponent dances around chair singing musical. I'd be like, what?
All right, I'll be Manskin because he appears right away.
Okay. I'll turn my chair a little bit so I can see.
I'm having trouble hearing the witness. I'll speak up.
He does pop in right away, doesn't he? Can you hear her now?
Good morning.
Mr. Manskin, can you hear her?
Yes, I can hear. Yes, by the way, if I do log off because it's a waste of time, I'll ask you to let me know when you're finished so I can log back on for cross.
What? He's not even going to stick around to hear what's asked and answered?
How's he planning on crossing?
Not just that. Have you talked to
an
this person
ass.
before, Bruce? That makes me wonder if you have questions already, ready to go and you log off, that means you're not paying attention to anything.
God,
What are
an
you
idiot.
asking exactly?
This is what the judge should see.
Yeah, that's messed up. I've never heard. Not just that. How is this doing anything in the best interest of your client?
This is terrible,
Yeah,
as usual.
yeah. I mean,
What in the dark mage says, what in the hot, crispy Kentucky Fried Fuck was that? I want to use that. That's funny. It's going in the bank.
Yeah, you're gonna set that one back.
Put that one in the bank for
That's
later.
hilarious.
That's funny.
I've never heard of a lawyer doing this kind of stuff because he's done it repeatedly. And in Depo, he's actually left and gone somewhere and then come back.
He has.
Yeah, and that was in the
He had to
Shara.
go. I have to go pick up my daughter.
The Shara stuff. It's just like, again, how is this in the best interest of his clients, though? I mean, it's like he's a 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. Only it's been like a year-long temper tantrum.
A year-long temper tantrum.
Mm-hmm. It's so bizarre. All right. So that's fine. I like Randy here. That's fine. Whatever. I'll put you in the waiting room. You can go to the timeout room, son. You can do whatever you want. And when I'm done, you can
You do whatever you want, son.
You go set that one out, kids. Okay. And when I'm done, if you want to be, I'll put you in the waiting room. And when you're ready, I'll take you out of the waiting room and put you back in here. Okay? Let me know.
I will let you know at my request to put me in the waiting room.
This is so bitchy.
I will let you know at my request to put me in the waiting room. That's a better voice for him. Okay, that works. I have found my Bruce voice.
Oh God.
I will let you know. He's like Rumpelmanskin. I will let you know at my request to put me in the waiting room.
Oh my God. He's like, I'm telling you, it is. It's more like little kids, He's like, I'm throwing a fit. You judge. My daughter, you'll hear her come down here every now and then, and she will tell on her sister, and it'll be about absolutely nothing. And that's what he reminds me of when he writes all these filings and stuff. Your Honor, And that's the thing that really gets me with the court, because as a good parent, I'll step in and I'll look at what's there, but I don't immediately take anybody's word for it. And I tell my my littlest one, I'm like, stop narking.
Stop being a narc.
Yeah, you try to figure that out.
I've had those
at
conversations before. Been like, if you keep telling on your sister, you're not gonna be friends for long. So you got to think about, do you want to be friends or do you want to be a narc?
Yeah. Well, and you're teaching social skills with that too, which maybe that's the problem here. Nobody set him down and actually taught him social skills, like this isn't how you treat other people.
To be fair, when he was in school, we didn't have any of that. Those of us with social issues just got left in the cold.
No. What happened is a male, typically, if you treated other people like crap, then you ended up
hit a lot. Yeah,
you're getting a swirly or God knows what else.
Right? You got hit a lot. Yeah.
Have you
busted lip?
No, why? What? Oh my Lord, man. That does remind me of school. I had a kid one time. I beat the crap out of him for it. Like, ain't no swirly in my future, son.
Oh, man. Boys had it so much easier than girls, because boys could just fight it out like with fists. And girls, they're just so psychologically mean. So
It depended, you know.
nasty.
It depended. Like nowadays, if you got invited, like some of the stuff when I was a kid, man, you know, you get in school suspension for anything. Oh, you got in a fight in school suspension. Oh, you hit them with a history book, you know, with 600 pages repeatedly, you know, in school suspension. Oh, you hit them with a chair in school suspension. So it didn't really matter. It was all in school suspension. Nowadays, if you did half of that, I'd be like, nope, you going somewhere, son. Okay, so I love that. Man, that beginning is so good.
That's crazy.
Already. All right, you got it. He's like, you got it. I'll
God.
let you know when I go to the waiting room. You got it, man. All right. So our direct examination. What do you prefer that I call you?
Amanda is fine.
You can call me Randy, or I'm Papa Shocket. No, I'm just kidding. Papa Shocket. You can call me
Shock
Daddy
it, Rocket.
if you want. Shock it, Rocket. That'd be amazing. I wish you would say
Call me
that.
Rocket Shocket.
Yeah, they call me the Rocket Shocket. God, I love that. I'd probably die. You'd probably just hear my chair fall over. You'd be like, "What happened?" I'm Randy Shockey. We just met. As you know, I'm Mr. Hale's lawyer. My office is Trenton, Florida. And you're here. You're not a party to this case. You're here as a witness to certain facts that we need to explore that involve the relationship between Mr. Hales and the two defendants. Have you ever given a deposition before?
No.
Really? That's interesting. I'm doing my research for this. I don't practice criminal law, so I really don't know what a victim's advocate does. Or you don't testify? You don't give depos?
No. It's a respect thing. Mutual respect thing for victims, advocates, that we're never called for depositions or for trial.
No, usually, I'm going to be fair. Like victims advocates, they don't do a lot. They don't have a lot of power. Yeah, just to be fair, they sit in on stuff, but if you ever ask them for anything, yeah, you don't get a lot of. It's usually referral to nothing. That's what I found. It's pretty useless, you know. It's a lot of words, but not a lot of anything. And again, I'm not saying that they themselves choose that, but I don't think they have a lot of control or power.
They're supposed to just be there for victims of crimes, to walk them through the court process, tell them when hearings are, notify them about specific things, make sure they know what their rights are. But really, it's kind of a bullshit job. I mean, I've had to deal with them in certain situations. Right. I found out that in New York, minors don't get victims advocates. No, the county attorney is your victims advocate, which is a little difficult because they're very busy, So, but then again, it's not like when you have one that it's much better. You can talk to Patty about that. Yeah. She had one and they didn't do crap for her.
Well, like I said, I've been there. I've had one before, and the whole process was very annoying.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be there to, bridge that gap also, and to make sure that you're heard too, but between yourself and prosecutors. And that, I'm sorry to say, but that doesn't happen. They don't.
Yeah, I wonder if actually having the victim's advocate be the county attorney is probably a better idea, because if they're also doubling as your, they're the one that's, I don't know. I could be.
No, I can say like the county attorney, like that. A lot of times they'll have some kind of they'll have a title for it, but it's not a victim's advocate, but like a victim's coordinator or something. They'll have something attached to the office. But as far as the prosecutor or assistant or whomever's on the case, man, good luck getting one of them. I mean, honestly, you may have one that's above and beyond, but like the one here, the one you got to see go running gun down the road, them, good luck ever having them talk to you or anybody under them, because you don't matter. I tell you. Been there, done that, was not happy about it. It was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
I would not want my life being in their hands. All right. So, mutual respect between the prosecutors and the criminal defense lawyers.
Correct.
Is it like, do you know what a guardian ad litem is?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Is it similar to that somehow?
Yes, the roles are very similar.
Not really. No. I think guardian ad litem might actually have a lot more power.
Power. They have a
Yeah.
lot more power. Yeah. With the judge, with the court.
Yeah. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
court, I mean, they can make recommendations. I mean,
And
they
then the
can.
judge always rules in favor of their recommendations.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think victims advocates have that kind of role with the court.
I actually think it's-
Unless they're kind of muddying the waters down there in Levy County, and maybe they do have a bigger role. I don't know.
they may have, when you're talking about small town like that, and you're
Yeah,
talking
maybe they
about,
don't even have guardians ad litem.
well, not just that. I mean, who do they really know? Who are they related to?
Right.
Stuff like that. You never know what kind of backroom bullshit you have in these really small places. Because this place, like looking at Levy County, I talk about being in small towns, but this is the epitome of a small town. I mean, we're talking about a lot of land, not a lot of people.
Yeah.
Less than 100 people. That's crazy for that much room. Anyway, I see. So let's start with that, because I really need to ask, you're a victim's advocate.
No.
You have been a victim's advocate.
Yes.
For how long?
Approximately 10 years.
So you're an experienced victim's advocate. Is that fair to say?
It depends on someone's definition, but yes.
So can you tell us what the duties and responsibilities are of a victim's advocate?
So it depends on the type of victim advocate.
Okay.
There are different roles depending on the type of victim advocate.
Right.
So a law enforcement victim advocate at the sheriff's office has a different role than I did as a victim advocate at the prosecutor's office.
So they were tied to the prosecutor's office.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's where you run into a real problem. I mean, you think about this. You look at how.
Oh, you mean the prosecutor who refuses to uphold Jeremy's order of protection?
Not just that,
prosecutor.
but look at the prosecutor also. Look at the narrative that they have over and over again. This is just YouTube drama. Where did that come from? Did that come from them? Did it come from people like this that made some kind of decision? Who exactly put that out there?
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's spread through that office like wildfire if you look at some of the events that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So let me stop right there. So I saw that. So there's the sheriff's office has victims advocates.
Correct.
Then the court, the 8th Circuit, has victims advocates.
The state attorney's office.
State attorney's office.
Correct.
Of the 8th Circuit.
Correct.
Okay, Brian Kramer.
Correct.
Was that your supervisor, Brian, ultimately?
Yes, he was my elected official. Yes, not my direct supervisor, but my...
Okay, fine. So you have experience, I understand, in both.
Correct.
Tell us, as a sheriff's victims advocate, what did you do?
So there, I would respond to crime scenes and ultimately help those immediately on the scene. It's more of a frontline response, whereas the state attorney's office, it's more of a on the back side of it. So that's what she said.
On the back
After
side.
law enforcement has been there, they process things. A crime has occurred and the arrest has been made or a sworn complaint has been done. Then it's sent over to the state attorney's office. Then at that point, it's kind of the backside of it.
So
just watch your backside.
Yeah, watch that backside.
Watch your backside.
There was a lot
if you
of
don't, the
backsides.
Levy County prosecutor certainly will violate it. Just saying.
Indeed. So after law enforcement has been there, they
That's
process
me. You're
things.
down on
Oh,
line.
my bad.
11.
Let's see. Who appoints you to a case when you're working for a state attorney? How do you know you're a victim? How do you know you have a victim to advocate for?
If there's a victim listed on an affidavit, it doesn't matter if the crime was a criminal mischief or petty theft or violent crime. If there was a victim listed, then there was a victim advocate assigned to it. That's how it was when I was there. things have since changed due to funding and things of that nature. So I'm not familiar with how things are now, so I can't speak on that.
That's actually sad if it's not law that changes it, but funding that changes it. Oh, yeah, they all run on victims.
It wasn't
And
like they were
advocacy and
it
all.
wasn't like they were doing such a bang up job before, though. You can
Exactly.
ask Patty about it.
Yeah, indeed. And now it changes. I'm wondering, did it change for the better?
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the
it could have.
question.
Maybe.
Ugh. So
Let's
when
hope.
when you say now, are you referring to the sheriff's victims advocate or
No. State.
the 8th Circuit state attorney?
Correct.
Got it.
As far as how do you know things, how are you assigned to a case at a sheriff's office?
Yes.
Things there are much different. Normally, you're notified by law enforcement that they have encountered a victim, that they need assistance, and that's normally also when I was there again. That's been many years ago. I would follow up the following morning after, an arrest had been made the previous night to look to see if there were any domestic batteries, violent crimes or people crimes.
People crimes
versus animal crimes, because there are a lot of
Yeah.
pig crimes in Levy County.
Sheep crimes.
I'll leave it to your imagination what those might be.
Baba black sheep. You're
Baba.
not gonna know. Gross.
We have had issues with crackheads and sheep. I will not
Ugh.
lie.
Turtles for sure, man. I still want to know what happened to that one turtle. Yeah.
That poor turtle on its back.
Yeah, are they riding it to California? Are they still going? That's how I like to imagine it. I like to imagine it. They were riding it, but somewhere, I don't know, out in the desert, it decided to break loose, run free. It's really slow though.
Singing
so it doesn't-
Born Free.
It rides off into the sunset, like how the westerns used to.
But
the
very, very
cowboy out-
slowly.
Yeah, just really slowly. Yeah, Born Free playing in the background. Ah, man, that's touching. Of course, that's probably not how it went, but that's just how I like to
Listen,
imagine
don't
it.
touch me. Nobody said you could touch me.
I mean,
There will be no
probably,
touching.
It's probably more like Silence of the Lamb,
Oh God!
I'd look good in a turtle sweater, don't you? Oh, gross, no.
It puts the lotion on its shell.
On its shell. Oh, shit.
Or it gets the hose again.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, that right there should be a meme. Somebody,
Except the hose has no water in it. It would have to be something
somebody
else.
they're just sitting there
There's
lotioning up the shell.
Oh,
Turtle's all looking
God.
back, like all worried, like, huh? Oh my gosh. So you basically, once there's an arrest, that's the possibility when you're working as a victim's advocate for the sheriff, that a victim's advocate being assigned just upon the arrest. Is that right?
Upon the arrest or prior or even prior. So if we had an investigation of sexual battery or domestic battery, stalking, there's a multitude of things that they would call a victim advocate on.
Okay. And then when it got to the court, did you ever see a case where you were a victim's advocate when you were working for the sheriff, and then they got assigned a different victim's advocate when the 8th Circuit with the state's attorney's office?
Correct. Normally they didn't bleed over. So once it's sent to the state attorney's office, the new victim advocate at the state attorney's office would then take over.
So the sheriff's victim advocate is done
Typically,
at that point.
almost always. There are rare occasions that does not happen, but it is unusual.
Okay, got it. Now, if I'm a victim's advocate, let's pretend I am. What can I do to help someone? You don't testify in court, so
Correct.
that's why I'm like, what do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah, that's a good
And
question.
I have a button for that.
What would you say you do here?
What What do you do?
Not just that, if you have a problem with, so depending on what, what comes up, oftentimes victims aren't even told about initial court, cases, what's going to go on. So you'll have your voice in the courtroom, DA, the prosecutor, some type there, probably assistant DA, depending on where you're at, and you'll have the alleged perpetrator. That advocate may be there, but you may not even be told that it happened. So you find out something happens there, and you're like, man, I got a real problem with the way this is handled. And of course, can you get a hold of the prosecutor? Probably not. So if you try to go through the victim's advocate, they may placate you. They may be like, yeah, that's terrible what happened, but they won't do shit.
Yeah, this is interesting.
This
is what we need. This is what we need Doge for right here.
I think a lot of them are probably frustrated with their jobs too. I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
So I'm sorry to act so basic, but I really, you don't testify in court. I have no idea.
A lot of times it just comes down to informing victims of their rights, of just, giving them guidance through the justice system. Sometimes it's just listening. Sometimes it's responding, going to court events.
With the victim?
Yes, with the victim, or in lieu of them, if they cannot be present. So we're depending really on what type of case we're talking about here. So obviously, if you have a simple battery that is non-domestic, they may not get the same interaction or same attention, I should say. It's a serious homicide case. They're not going to have the same number of interactions and services.
So they have a stacked tier of how much they actually involve themselves in.
Look, if you get your leg cut off by some psycho with a chainsaw, like I would be there right on that. But if you got your face beat in just by some guy on the street, I might not be. Do you understand?
That reminds me of insurance company. I worked way back when I worked in a plastics factory, and I didn't realize this. I'd sit down, as a guy had bandsawed off his finger. All right. There was an insurance guy that came down there. Yeah. This insurance guy, he was pretty funny. I was like, you could tell he hated his job. He hated this stuff. So afterwards we went out, we ran around, had drinks, whatever. And he was telling us about stuff. And he was like, yeah, depending on what you lose, we give an offering for it. The more loss, the more we offer. But it's, when you look at it, a lot of times, like with a factory, I mean, it's not a lot of money, like you're talking about a loss of a finger. Well, you lose quite a bit of, movement there. It's a lifetime injury, and maybe a loss of an arm, you get into a few more thousand. Like a finger was at the time. Now this was years and years ago, but a finger, their initial offering was a couple $100. Yeah. I was like, what, a couple $100? That's what they offered. This lady who bandsawed off her pinky.
Yikes. Of course it was a woman.
Yeah, $260. Actually, it wasn't her fault. The safety mechanisms failed in those places. Oh
no.
Yeah.
And they only gave her a couple $100.
Yeah. Oh, the worst one. Oh my God. So this is awful, but I'll tell you this one anyway. The first time when I started it was a plastics factory. They had you get the item out. Afterwards, they put it in this little press, and two blades would come down, chop off the ends, and then over the top there would be a drill that comes down and drill an air hole in it. It was for some part for your car. When you put your hands in, like if your hands were ever in before a process started, it was supposed to automatically terminate the process. Well, it didn't do that one time. This is my first day there. I saw this happen. I was like, oh my God. So when this lady went in to put the part in, something went wrong with the cylinder that pushes down. There's like an air compression piece to it. It compresses anyway and pushes it down and starts it, and it pins her fingers to it. Now the blades don't hit her, but the drill does. The drill catches her in the thumb. And I was like, oh my God. And what was bad is the blades.
I can't even think about this. Is making my backside hurt just thinking about it. I don't know why, but
Oh man, I saw so many. I mean, I'd see dumb people too. My favorite dumb
I
person
see
one.
dumb people.
Oh my God, this was so amazing. So this guy was putting together pallets. You know, those big. You put like 4 wooden beams, so a forklift can put something up, pick it up. You know, and you take a nail gun, you hold it. It looks like a jackhammer. You just dig right into the floor. You just push it down. Well, this guy, he he'd gotten tired and he was going to go rest. So he took his big air gun over and he went to lean on the wall. Well, when he leaned over, he went to lean the gun down and he put it on his foot. And it pushes itself, you know, if you let it go, it pushes down automatically. If you haven't turned it off, it nails again. So it nailed his foot to the floor. And when he bucked up on it, you know, he freaked out. It did it again.
Oh no.
I was like, what idiot? But you know what I learned from that? I was like, man, you have to be really dumb to have that happen, do you? Yeah.
I am sure that would happen to me. That's why I should never, ever operate heavy machinery in my life. No.
There's just certain things like maybe don't rest a giant thing that, you know, shoots nails out. Don't put it on your body. You know, that's a good idea.
Probably, it's kind of like a warning on an iron. Do not iron while wearing clothes.
Yeah. Do not massage face. You're like, okay. Indeed. How does that tie into this? I don't even remember how we got here, but let's just say dumb people. Okay.
Okay.
That's how it all ties in. So, is one of the services helping them get in touch with any sort of compensation fund?
Yes, unless you're Patty.
Yeah, exactly.
So the state of Florida does have a crimes compensation fund. Absolutely. Again, depending on the type of crime. We can certainly lead them in that direction. We don't usually help too much in that department because, you know, we're saving money.
Yeah, who is supposed to? That is a good question. Like, who is supposed to put Patty in contact with that?
No, you have to advocate for yourself. That's why this is such a joke, okay? Because I already went through it with Patty. I was on the phone with her when she was on the phone with these people, and I heard every word. And they were not trying to help her in any way. She had to go after them for the money. They did end up reimbursing her, but they told her no 3 times. 3 times. She had to call back 3 times to say, no, this is wrong. You told me to come here. You should pay for it. You made me pay for it out of my own pocket. Then you didn't do anything. You said you were going to, and you didn't. So she had to fight for herself. Her victim's advocate was on the phone on the opposite side, not advocating for her. So just saying.
That's crazy, but that's not surprising. I mean, again, I've never dealt with the Levy County insanity, but it seems like all of these people and all these places are just connected. You know, they're out to. And
by the way, Prosecutor Dan Owen, I was on the phone with your people. I heard every word. Just letting you know, I heard everything you did to Patty, and I took copious notes.
That's nuts.
And, you know, they're lucky they paid her the money, because if they didn't pay her the money, it was going to be ugly.
Which is nuts that they put her through the ringer like that, though, period. I mean, she shouldn't, as a victim, she shouldn't be not only having to fight for her rights, which is messed up. They're supposed to be there. They're supposed to advocate for her. The whole system is her advocate. You can't, it's not like you can bring in your own lawyer and try to push or promote. You can do that civilly. But, you know, we're talking about an issue that should be criminal, and you can't do anything about that on your own. That is so frustrating, too, because if you can bring in your own lawyer, that person gets to bring in the best damn lawyer they want if they can get it, you know. But you just get some moron that they're in that position, hoping they can usually springboard up to a higher position, you know, in a few years. Oh, I hate that crap. You see it here. And that's also, man, prosecutors get 7 years or so in office. So they get quite
I don't know what it is in
too.
Florida.
They get a long term here. It's like 7 years or something. So if you get a bad one, you know, again, ours that gets caught running and gunning, he's still in office. He's actually got a nice office too. That's weird too. He's not connected to the courthouse or anything else. He's got his nice office right in the middle of town. It's nice, got like reflective glass and everything. And I bet you
course.
money that we as the taxpayers pay for it.
Of course.
Yeah. But it looks like a nice lawyer's office. So, but you can point them in the right direction.
Absolutely. And we can point them in the direction of another way, which is a domestic violence center. 3 Rivers Legal Services that will handle restraining orders, things of that nature. So we will refer out for services.
So they refer out for a restraining order for a place?
For legal services to get those. So like if I'm assuming this is for indigent people who need legal help.
That's wild. Like I again, I didn't even get asked about my legal situation or anything like that when I dealt with the victims.
Again, you have to ask. See, they don't bring it up unless you ask. That's why you have to be like a pit bull and you have to be like, what are my rights here? What am I entitled to? What are all the services you offer?
That's poison. That is
yeah, it's terrible.
Poison.
But if you don't, they just won't tell you. So they save the money. I'm telling you, that's what it's about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it reminds me of it's kind of like working for a privatized corporation, only you're working for the government, which is even worse, Okay. So I see. And how do you communicate with the victim?
Normally they would call, see?
Smoke signals.
They call. They don't call them. The victim has to call.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. Like the police give you a piece of paper. And then you usually have depending on the law enforcement place, you have some kind of person there, that handles that. They always have a different title, but they have a person that will refer you over. They'll ask you if you need to see one right away, but they, I don't know. They don't make it sound very like you need it, Right. They're just like, are you sure? It's almost like you're talked out of it.
Yes.
So strange. So they are told to call you?
Yes.
So at this point, let's not talk about the sheriff's office or the sheriff anymore. I got it.
Yeah, state attorney's office.
Okay. Let's assume for the rest of this deposition that we're talking about a case where it's transferred, like you said.
Correct. They would call.
I'm sorry?
They would call the office.
So they're told to call you?
Most of the time, they would call. I think, even without prompting, they would just call.
I think they do. I don't know.
And if they did not, again, depending on the type of crime, obviously, if it was a homicide or something where we had injured victims, typically we would try. Well, if it's a homicide, aren't they dead?
Yeah, for real.
Where we had injured victims.
How do you?
We would try.
We would
try. Look at this answer. Typically, we would try, even in a homicide.
What do you do? You get out the seance board, get out the Ouija?
Typically, we would try, in between going to lunch at barbecues. I would try to call them to get them scheduled in for testimony relatively soon, depending on what the prosecutor instructed me to do.
That is so weird, though. If there was a homicide, we talk to the... Oh, Lord. We channel them and tell them about their rights.
We have a seance.
Yeah. We ask them if they actually
I send them messages
services.
through ESP. I saw it on Oprah.
ESPN. Yeah, wait. Oh, my God. So in the criminal case.
Yes.
Are you allowed to email them?
I use a magic 8-ball. Yeah, there's nothing prohibiting me from doing that. It wasn't common, but
why isn't it common though?
I don't know. They don't do anything.
No. I ran into this issue where when they give you their email address too, when you write them, it kept bouncing back.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I'd be like, hey, there's something wrong with this. Like, does it not take outside mail or something?
We
I don't
use
know. Just
smoke
try it again.
signals, mainly smoke signals, and I consult my magic 8-ball to tell me whether or not I should contact a victim. And usually it says not today.
Like, I don't know about magic, but I consult the 8-ball. Well, everything
Consult
seems
an
magic.
8-ball.
Exactly. Everything's magic, but I consult the Colombian 8-ball. Shit. Oh, so it's not really common, right?
Not typically out here.
They just call you.
Yes,
How about texting? Can they text you?
they can. I had a work issued cell phone.
Oh God, the work issue cell phones are terrible too. They still. I don't know if they do this now, but you get you get people that are assigned, like with kids that would come in for therapy, and I mean, just a few years back, they'd come in with those, the old brick flip phones. They just they would have those. I was like, good Lord, they can't give you like a phone that you can type on. No wonder they don't send any texts.
Yeah, the government is always like 20, 30 years behind. It's weird.
I don't know how many people, especially younger people, they've never experienced the horror of trying to type out a message, where one day you got to go, oh, I got to flip it over, A, B, C. Okay, that's letter one.
Yeah, I was really good at that. I was
Oh.
really good at that on the flip phones. I got super fast at texting.
Oh, I hated that though. I'd be like, oh my God, those phones were so small too. I got big hands. So, I mean, even now I could put my hand, I could put my, my Galaxy in my hand and still cut the ends of my fingers around it. So, I mean, I've got a huge hand. So with that little bitty one that fit in the palm of my hands, like, oh my God, how do you do this? Okay. So, okay. I love it too. We're back to every time I take a break, and come back and say, okay. It's
Okay.
actually on you. Yeah. So do you offer to text? Do you offer to say, hey, if you need me, here's my cell phone number?
It is on my business card.
Oh, it was on your business card. So they have it right there.
Correct.
All right. So you just, thank you for telling me this because I got more out of it. Can a victim request you do something and then you decide whether or not you can do it or not? Like, what if someone says, I want $50,000. I want to get paid. I'm sure you've gotten people that ask you stuff that you can't do, right?
Yeah, over the years. I mean, one time I had somebody request like dog food, just something random. I mean, certainly if it's something within my means, like if they're hungry and need food, I definitely tried to do what I could to try to help with that. But I mean, as far as like 50,000, no, I've never had quite that request.
So have you ever had anyone request like a dog mask? Anyone
Did she have purple hair?
Yeah. Did they want you to walk them around the park and let them pee on bushes? You're like, no, what? Dog food. I hope that was for an animal, by the way. I hope they weren't liking it. Yeah. My favorite food is Purina. So be like, but that's puppy chow. Wait, never mind. Okay. Well, let's just say a lot of money. How do I get compensated from this? He stole from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I would point them in the direction of victims' compensation if it was a crime that applied.
If it was a crime that applied. Okay. And what was if you don't know, or if you know. I really want him to say that.
If you don't know, or if you know.
Yeah. If you know. God, if he does that, it's going to be funny. Oh, by the way, Les, you never given a deposition before. You're doing great.
I've not ever given them, but I've sat in hundreds of them.
This looks like a real thumbs up here too. It's like, it sounds like you're really experienced in that too. Okay.
Stroke.
Yeah. I love how he does that. That's actually how you should do it. You shouldn't be adversarial beforehand, telling people, hey, I'm going to leave here and I'm not going to be part of this, but later on, maybe I'll come in. you know, if I have time for it. You can just
Mhm.
waiting room. So this is a court proceeding. Even though we're not in Judge Davis's courtroom, we're in the conference room. It's a court proceeding.
I'm aware.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to be asking you, and I have asked you already a series of questions. You're going to give your answers, and your answers are under oath. You know that, right?
I'm aware.
And so even though we're not in his courtroom, your testimony, I have to tell you this, and I tell every deposition witness this. It's nothing personal. This is actually a good thing to note. And I like how he says it's not personal either when I note this. The answers you're giving today as a consequence of the oath are still subject to the penalties of perjury as if you were before Judge Davis.
That's correct.
Why would you answer that's correct? Right? I'd be like, okay, I understand. Not,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like she told him, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And if I ask you a question, and this dovetails into that, if I ask you a question and you're not sure of my question, don't answer it, okay?
I'm aware. Yes, sir. I know the rules.
Okay. You know the rules. No guessing. There's a guessing penalty here. I like that.
Yes,
too.
sir.
I like that. There's a guessing penalty. Yeah. It's called a perjury.
Yeah.
There it is. It's not like a high school where you get multiple choices. Pick one. No. We're here seeking the truth. That's it.
Absolutely.
And if you don't know or don't remember, that's a great answer. Just tell us. Now, good. Now that we got that over with, if you need a break at any time, just let me know.
I'm ready to get it over.
Huh?
I'm ready to be done.
I know you are, but just...
Yeah.
So I'm ready to get out of here. We've already started it, so all right.
And again, I apologize for being late. I just misread.
How late was she? Do we know?
10 or 20 minutes, I think.
So it wasn't a real big time.
Not a huge amount of time.
It's so strange though. Like if you were told that you have to be somewhere for court, are you one of the people? Like for me, I arrive early because
yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be there early. I'm gonna make sure that I'm there at least 10, 15 minutes early. Just to make sure.
Oh yeah, for court. Oh, by the way, I just got out of jury duty, so I got called again. Those of you who listen know that I was called just a couple months ago, and like literally 2 months ago, and I got another notice in the mail, and so I go and I fill out the thing, and on there it says, "Is there anything you want the prosecutor to know?" And I said, "Yeah, I think this is excessive. I was just called 2 months ago, so it seems excessive to me." And here's all the dates I'm not available. I have a bunch of vacations coming up. So here you go. I have 2 spring breaks to deal with. Plus I have a Vegas trip and some other stuff that's going on. So they sent me an email and they were like, "You're excused."
I have that. Anytime
Like,
they ask
that
me
has
like
never worked for me before. I was like,
I always
"Holy
fill
crap."
out like what works for me every time. Like, you know, in the anything that you want to note, I always put in like, I distrust the government and think all individuals are not guilty. I write that in. And you know, I've never been
I
called.
don't trust the state.
Yeah.
Ever.
I just write in something like that. I'm a sovereign citizen.
God, you know what's sad about that though is that then you end up with a jury of people who weren't smart enough to get out of jury duty.
That's true too. That is true.
I mean,
you know?
it's not that I don't want to get out of jury duty. I will serve. And like I got called up and I went and I did the thing and I didn't get picked. That's enough. They should call other people for a while. Like I should not be called again for a year, you know, at least. Because I showed up. It's not my fault you didn't pick me. You know, but are you going to impede on my life every month until you pick me? That doesn't seem fair. So
I just want to try out all kinds of new lines now. I want to see what gets me out of it and what gets me called, you know. I believe the earth is flat like the Constitution. You know,
I
you're
just
like,
thought it was funny that I said, "Yeah, I think this is excessive." And they were like, okay, excused.
Yeah, they were like, "You're not
Like,
going
oh,
to be
yeah.
helped." Well, you are telling them though that
Well,
you
they
don't
got
like the
caught. They
prosecutor.
got
Yeah.
caught being excessive because they did. They just called me 2 months ago. Like,
No,
are you really running through your roles that quickly that you're back to me already?
that's not why they dismissed you though. They dismissed you because they think that you might not like the prosecutor and you won't go the way they want you to. That's why they probably.
Oh,
kicked you.
that might be the case.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
it wasn't really the excessiveness. They're like, "Psh, we're the government, man. We can do whatever the fuck we want."
She's pissed already. They're like, she's pissed already. Then
Yep.
get rid of her.
Yep, exactly. She's not going to vote for us. Let's see if we can find somebody that that loves it. I'm like, I don't know.
I
look
don't
at
mind doing
prosecutors.
it. I just don't want to be called I don't want to be called every 2
I
months.
do not want to be part of a freaking case. I don't want to sit there and do my duty. I'm sorry. I've never wanted to be part of it. I think I've been hit up 5 times in my life. So maybe 6.
The one time that I made it to the questioning, to the voir dire, the first time when they asked me what I did, and I was a journalist at the time, that was it. They didn't want me. I don't think that they want journalists on juries. I think that it was an immediate no from both sides.
Yeah, they don't want anybody that can research or anything that might find something out about that. Because they want to feed you. They want to pump in a storyline, and then they want to.
And then the same day that I was on voir dire, there was a guy behind me. They got to him and they said, "What do you do?" And he said, "I founded Sweet Baby Ray's." And we all turned around and went, "What? We love that barbecue sauce." And he was like, "Thank you very much." Yeah,
I'll be like, "Hell yeah, hook it up, man."
That was so funny.
Yeah, we had a case out here. Like the last one I had, it was connected. Bonnaroo? The music festival Bonnaroo?
Yes, I think I've heard of it.
Okay, so Bonnaroo, it's like I can hear it from where my mom lives. You go out on the porch and like listen to it if you really wanted
that's
to.
fun.
Yeah, no, what's funny is people pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go to a festival that it's out in the middle of cow fields. Like that's how I was like, did they put that in the middle of those cow fields out there? Are they charging $30 a pop to park in cow manure? That's amazing. It's the greatest. So somebody apparently fell in a big freaking gopher hole over there, and then there was a fight or I don't know, but they had some case going on with that.
Wait, someone fell in a gopher hole?
Oh yeah.
That is the most Tennessee shit I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah. I knew a guy that went out there and fell in some kind of hole, broke his leg. He was one of the vendors out there and breaking his leg. I was like, how the hell did you do that? He's like stumbling around in the dark. He's like trying to avoid those. He kept calling the people there hippies. I was like, they're not hippies, dude. All those hippies. All
Damn
those
it, my
long
blood
hairs.
pressure is still high.
Ugh.
Dang it. I was hoping it would go down.
Yeah, you have to talk to them. Tell them they're going to have to give you some control of that.
I know.
Well, the high, it's not as bad. Like the low to high, it's like, because it's artificially.
I don't think 144 over 116 is a good reading, though.
No. It's stage 2, man. Yeah,
damn it.
Yeah, they need to fix it.
When the screen's blinking red at you, I think that's a bad sign.
Yeah, it's either like incoming fire or abort or danger. Like, okay, I got you.
I prefer the yellow screen, but I don't get that very often. I just get the screaming red one.
No. It's a stoplight. It means don't take any more. You're good. That's what it meant. Yeah. It's like, you're great, Okay, let's see. I'm going to go a little further now. So are you allowed to? Let's strike that. Is there any training that a victim's advocate gets? You're laughing. Look at this. You're laughing. Mm-hmm. I love it. You're laughing. I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm laughing because that's a great question.
Okay.
So most of the training that a victim's advocate gets is really on-the-job training, truthfully. I didn't know what I was doing when I was hired. I had no idea. I just know I had a passion and,
Yeah, I figure that's probably correct. I tell you, like, that's probably any kind of it. That's like mental health. When I started as a case manager, it was like being thrown to the fire. You know, I started a place. I started a place with extreme mental health clients. Sorry, I dusted off my keyboard. I was like, "Ooh, there's something on it." So I got the air.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, what is that?" You know, I was like, "Is that it?" It was something. I was like, "Is that alive?" I thought I saw it move. So I got one of the little compression air things. I was like, "Get off there." Anyway, yeah, they dump you into those. Yeah, and I started out in like a extreme clientele. It was a wake up call. So I imagine if that's private practice, and I would talk to some of the governmental people, and they were like, "Yeah, that's normal." Oh, I can only imagine what they deal with. Getting dumped into something. So I'm going to ask you about that. I know you have a passion for it, for victims.
More than you probably know.
What kind of answer is that?
I don't know. She's full of herself.
No, for real. Oh, okay.
But no, there was, there's like a 40-hour class that they sent you to for, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like a designation class, but it's.
Oh, God. I've seen those classes.
Some kind of class. It's just some kind of class. You go sit in a room with fluorescent lighting and bad coffee. It's just awful.
It's those basic things that they used to send the state and privatized agencies to all these stupid little things. Back in the day, they would also send in caseworkers, from the state. They'd send them in and they teach them before they outlawed all that, the arm bar techniques, if a mentally, like if you get a mentally ill victim, you can take them down if they get out of hand. It's so bizarre. They would be teaching these people at the same time. You're supposed to be a victim's advocate, but at the same time, you can arm bar them if you need to.
Right.
For real. They used to teach them that. The same ones we get as like case managers and mental health. Yeah. They'd have them in too. So at the beginning of your employment.
Yeah. So you go in the beginning and then you go in every so often to renew it.
Like continued education.
Correct. But to be very honest, I mean, it teaches you the very basics. Nothing teaches you to be a victim's advocate other than dealing with victims every day.
It's not like continued education, though. You have to have every year, you have to have it's like a certificate. Like I know CPR, those classes, like you had to have them every few years. The state requires that you have to have that same thing. It's not really a continued education thing because they're the dumbest things. Can you hop on one foot? Show me. Okay, you're good. That's about it. So they ever tell you that you can do all of these things except this or that? Or here's a list of things that you can do in the training.
No.
So they never tell you. Okay.
If they do, I don't remember that.
That's great. Are you allowed to talk to attorneys?
Yes.
In a case?
Yes.
Including the accused attorney?
Yes. That was common. Yes, very common.
That's jacked up, to be honest. Like if they're talking to you and you're a victim and this person is assigned to you, they could be pumping you for information and giving it to the opposing counsel.
Yeah, it's very strange.
That seems not just highly unnormal. That seems if that's not a flaw in the legal system, I really don't know what is. Also, if you're communicating through, you're Lord, what are they doing in here that could be bad for a victim too? If they're talking to the attorney and maybe even again the offender, and then they're talking to the victim. God, I could see all kinds of problems with that. That's a mess. Oh, okay. And they're not told anything they're not allowed to do either. So, Okay. So are you allowed to talk to the judge? Not in the courtroom.
About a case?
Yeah.
No. That is against the rules. That is unethical.
So it's unethical to talk to the judge, but it's not unethical.
But not the accusing's attorney. Yeah, the accuser. Yeah.
That's crazy. It's like a ex parte.
I can't tell you what it is. That's a technical, like legal term.
Bravado, and yet, someone told you can't tell the judge anything unless you were in the courtroom talking to.
I just know that it would be unethical.
Okay.
I don't think anyone has ever told me that. I just know it.
Wait. So she was never told you can't do that either.
Mm-hmm.
You just decided it was unethical to talk to the judge, but not.
Yeah, nobody ever told me. I just know.
It's so weird. It's something you wouldn't do. It's unethical, you think?
Abso-positively.
It's ridiculous to think of it was. Are you allowed to talk to witnesses, not the victim?
So if they were to call into the office, it would happen sometimes where a witness would contact our office about certain cases. If asked questions, I would only give information that was public record. So if they had a question about when the next court event was, that is something that they can read online. And I had no problem helping them gather that information. But specific information on a case, no.
God, even talking to somebody, I'd be a little, I mean, why would they even talk to them at all about that kind of stuff? I would only give them information that's on the public record. Okay, so you talk to the you talk to the offender's lawyer, and then you talk to witnesses even about anything. Don't you see a problem here? Don't you see how that could bias or cause conflict?
Maybe.
But not the judge. Not the judge. Okay.
Definitely not.
I gotcha. Now we're getting into this. Thank you for educating me. I feel like I know a little more about victims advocates now. So do you know Russell Meeks?
Yes.
How do you know him?
I know his son, Rock.
Rock.
His name is Rock.
Is that his actual just Rock?
I guess. Rock
It's Rock
Meeks.
Russell? Or Rock Meeks?
Mm-hmm.
Rock Meeks. That's actually a decent name. I mean,
We call him Rock Me Amadeus.
Yeah. Be like, yeah, like I'm gonna rock your face. I mean, cool. That's actually a decent name. I like it, to be honest.
Rock.
I've never met a
as
person
in
named.
dumbass.
Well, yeah, like dumb as a. Yeah, I could see that.
Dumb
too.
as
It could be
a.
used as you. Yeah. But I mean, if you're inanimate objects, that's a decent one. That's better than being called like Moon or Shitty Breeze or something.
Or like Go Kick.
Blue Bucket. Blue Bucket. Oh my God, that's a perfect name. So, Rock, but you don't know Russell very well, the dad.
No, other than just being Rock's dad.
Have you ever met Russell Meeks?
Yes, when we were kids.
So you grew up in Levy County.
In Levy County.
It's like he has an echo. Where did you go to high school?
Chiefland.
Chiefland High School. Okay, great. And Meek's son went to Chiefland also?
I'm not going to answer personal questions, Mr. Shockett.
It's not a personal question.
Where I went to school is personal, and that was more than I wanted to release. I'm just being honest.
I'm asking, do you know what high school Russell Meeks' son attended?
I do not.
Where did you meet Mr. Meeks' son?
So we're in a small community.
I understand. I live here.
Everybody plays ball together. You live here, but if you're not from here, like you grew up here as, a youngin', knee-high, everybody just knows everybody, and I don't know how to explain it.
Is it young and knee-high? What?
Knee-high.
That really got into the southernisms.
I know. I think I chose the right accent for her.
I like how she explained we don't like outsiders, but she wouldn't say that.
Yep.
I don't know how to say.
She's all, you live here, but if you're not from here.
Yep.
So you
I know
live
that
here,
feeling now.
but you're not from here.
I know that feeling. Even like here, I was like here, I was born here, and we moved away and did all kinds of stuff. I'd come back for, visit my grandparents. They lived here. Ended up moving back. My parents were here, and I was an outsider for a long time. Still, and this is a place.
I live in a place like that.
Oh,
It's a very small town, and I'm not from here, and we will never fit in here. Like you just don't. If you are not from this place, if you are not married to a cousin here, you're not, you don't understand.
Yeah.
And that is not a joke. Everyone is related.
That's funny though. I'm not surprised, man.
And I'm not making a Southern crack. I live in New York.
No.
Okay. There are small towns. There are small towns like that everywhere in this country where the whole town is related.
When you watch a mafia movie and they make jokes about all the nephews and the daughters and stuff. That's how I feel when in this town. Hey, blah blah blah. The one that's related to your da 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 da. I'm like,
that's how they describe everybody around here. Oh, so and so's cousin. Yeah, it related to the so and so's. Yeah, no, everyone. Oh, thank you, Pink Sparkle Racing says my mom is from Seneca Falls. You are correct. Yes, that is the general area I am speaking of. Yes,
that's funny. Yeah, I know that.
It's very, very similar to that here. It's small town, 1,000 people, and everybody is related.
I like how she says, I don't know how to explain it. He's like, I know you don't.
Oh, but look what he says. Keep reading.
I'm getting it. It's soaking in. I got it.
So, I do not know Russell. If I were to see him at Walmart, I would not speak to him. I do not know him.
Let me tell you why I asked. Because at one of the hearings in this case, I think he sat next to you or is very close to you at one of the hearings.
That is incorrect.
You never saw him at a hearing in this case.
Absolutely. He sat several pews ahead of me. When I walked in, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I walked in.
Wait, so she doesn't know who he is,
Well, she knows exactly where he sat.
Yeah, she knows exactly who he is, but at the same time, she couldn't pick him out of the crowd, but she can,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
I actually think maybe what she was saying was, I don't know him well enough to jaw with him at Walmart. But she recognized.
She did a terrible job saying that. By the way, we have almost 4,000 people here. Thank you for being here. Yes, tell people we're live. Actually, we've been going for a while, but we'll go for a little bit longer. But tell people we're live. Also, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. And if you'd like to go further, you like what we do here, you'd like to support fun employment, you enjoy coverage on this and many other things as we go forward in time. Well, think about those breadsticks, because breadsticks are always welcome. And thank you. All right. So let's see. You were right here. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I walked in and I sat on probably the very back row, which is what I would typically do if I come in to observe a hearing.
Okay, but you're able to identify Russell Meeks.
Yes.
See, he took it as, it looks like, but wait, you can identify him? Okay. So you know what he looks like?
I am very good at observing.
Oh, why weren't you a detective then? That's what I'm curious about. Yeah. It's like, I was a victim advocate, but really, I was a detective because I'm so good at this kind of stuff.
I'm like Sherlock Holmes. I observe everything. Nothing gets by me.
What's that guy's name? Sherlock Homie? Yeah, I got it. That's what I'm like.
I'm like Sherlock Holmes.
Sure. That sounds like the X-rated version of it.
He has a very large microscope or whatever you call that thing. It's very
microscope. Yeah, that's what they call it. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh my God. I need, you know what? That's the thing. Some days, crazy days, I'm like, man, I don't feel like streaming. I'm not going to stream today. Then I get on here and I'm like, man, I'm glad I streamed.
And then you get on here and I'm all Sherlock Holmes. And it's all worth it. It has all been worth it.
I love it. I
With
love
that
this.
huge magnifying glass. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't find it there for a minute.
I love his private eye. Yeah.
Finding privates. What?
So have you ever spoken with him?
Not that I can ever remember. Rock, yes, but not Russell.
Okay, I gotcha.
And maybe Miss Mary Jane, his mama, at one
Mary
point.
Jane.
But Mr. Russell, no, never.
I've spoken to Mary Jane a few times too.
Every day at 4:20, me and Miss Mary Jane have a conversation.
Yeah, we used to go on dates sometimes. You know, we burned through a lot of talking points.
Religiously at 4:20 p.m. every day.
I understand the Mr. Russell thing too. That's around here. Gotcha. But do you know Stephanie Barrett, the realtor?
Real estate agent, yes.
Why he's got a realtor?
Oh my
No.
God. Real estate agent. Actually, no, she would be a realtor, or you can't. There's no such thing as being a real estate agent without being a realtor. You have to belong to the club.
Yeah, you got to be in the club to participate.
It's like
in the club.
it's like the bar for attorneys. You have to be a
Oh,
realtor for
Lord.
real estate.
There you go. Okay. When I first met her, because they got the house here, I was Mr. Randy.
It's a respect thing.
I don't think that's a respect thing. It's more of it's colloquialism, you know? It's the same kind of places you get called sugar and darling at.
Yeah.
God, I used to have to get on to people with that at workplace. I'll be like, it is not work appropriate at the front desk to call people darling and sugar, especially when they're mentally ill and they have like obsessive qualities. Yeah. That's caused a few problems. I will have to say that had some really weird problems because of that kind of stuff. I had a guy that thought one of the front desk people was into them, and he was not a safe person. So it's like, never do it. We had it got bad enough was a bad enough situation that at different facilities, I would take something and I would note that, right? You know, where you have the windows that look out, or right in the front, it would say, do not say sugar, darling. None of that. Don't say that. Yes. It was crazy. But anyway, so I got you. Do you know Mark? You know Mark Feather? He grew up here.
I do not know Mark in the community like that level. I do not know Mark that way. The only way I know Mark is through professional. I mean professional, but we worked together so much, him and I. We just became friendly. So you do know him. What is this answer?
Well, what does that mean? Like, I don't know him in the community. But
I don't know him. I don't know him from knee high. I just know him through work, and we became friendly. That's a bizarre
answer.
These people, it's all about who they know from Levy County.
It's not just that. It's like they're all on this defensive, and to me, you know, she's not part of a case. There's nothing aimed at her currently. So this tells me that, you know, again, I get a little defensiveness. I do get that. But at the same time, the run around and they're trying to do that, it just seems like guilt.
Yeah, it's strange. That was a strange answer.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this has, though. A lot of it speaks like ego. It does. You know, it's not relaxed anyway. And again, she says, well, this is my first. Okay. But I've been around like a lot of these, hundreds of cases. So could you imagine this person too? Just the way they come across. Do they seem like someone you would want as your victim's advocate?
No.
I would think I would be corrected on something, you know. No, they hit me with something. Well, the correct term, Mr. Tug, is bludgeon. You were bludgeoned. I'm like, but I'm bleeding. You know, like, no, you're the correct term again is you're hemorrhaging. You know, no, what's going on?
That's funny.
I didn't know you were a doctor. Oh, Lord. So let's see. And you had cases where you're victim's advocate with the sheriff?
Correct.
With Mark Feather.
Yes.
So do you know Mark Feather represented Jeremy Hales?
I did not know that.
I do not see how that she does not know that, though. I mean, small town, she knows about this guy and so much stuff. The office itself, all these offices talk about Jeremy Hales. It's hard for me to believe that.
I'm telling you, I did not know that.
I do not know this man, Your Honors.
I do not know it. I didn't know it.
All right. All right. Settle down over there. All right. Tell us.
Get my blood pressure cuff back on. Just making my blood pressure go up.
These numbers are so high, I'm going to throw a few of them at you. Yeah, go grab. All right. Tell us what you know about this case with Miss Preston, Mr. Hales, since you're at some point the victim advocate for Miss Preston. Is that right?
So I'm going to be as straightforward as I can be. I knew them in a capacity as a victim.
Who's them? Both of them?
Well, I was introduced to Lynette first when she came in as a capacity as a victim. Due to Marcy's law, I'm not going to discuss any of the facts of that case or anything I know in that capacity. You know the public records request can be done through that. So are you asking me in specifics in reference to the criminal case, or can you just be more specific about?
Yeah, here's a good. What criminal case?
That's how I.
Mr. Hales was never charged with a crime.
So what?
It was a domestic violence case.
So I think you and I are on two different pages. I apologize.
The hearing that you went into was a domestic violence hearing.
Correct. Yes. So we were getting calls from different parties. I don't remember who now. And so I would not misspeak to that they're,
Remember. And I said, if you don't remember, that's the answer.
Yes, that there were things going on in Otter Creek and that there was a hearing or a restraining order, maybe a back and forth. And again, I don't remember the details, but there was going to be a hearing and that we may potentially be getting a case out of it. So only to observe, I went and just stuck my head in before I had a testimony. I had a testimony coming up. So I just had a few minutes. So I went in and observed. It was nothing more than that.
What?
Oh, bullshit, lady.
Yeah. Well, number one.
Bullshit. Remember what she said? Remember what she said? Remember what she had said? She had said that there was no, that it, depending on what it was, if it wasn't that serious, you wouldn't get any services at all. You're not even going to get a phone call. You have to call them.
Yep.
So now I'm expected to believe that she is poking her head in on her off time before she has to be somewhere. She's just poking her nose into a case where she might have a victim, but she hasn't been assigned to one. Oh, no, ma'am. I don't believe that.
No, this tells you right here. So this tells me that there's
Lies.
something really, really wrong behind the scenes in Levy County.
Lies.
Yep.
She was told through the gossip network that this one's going to be a hot one today. You better get in there and go tell us what's going on.
I don't know. It may be even worse than that. Oh, you know that guy that called out all of this corrupt bullshit that could kind of endanger us because, well, we're supposed to be the people that keep all this shit from happening around here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the allegations, like the allegations of the water services, the stuff that Jeremy noted that happened. Yeah. And Madam Mayor had talked about as well, saying
the overcharging.
Not just the overcharging, but certain, I'm going to say, requests from people of let's say a sexual nature.
Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah. So there were allegations of stuff like that. Now that right there, if that had been going on and, law enforcement prosecutors, they either knew about it, turned a blind eye, or worse, they were involved in that kind of stuff. Holy shit. And
yeah, she was sticking her nose in to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, it feels like oh shit, what's this guy? We're going to shut this guy down. If Jeremy Hales didn't have the amount of money and really the fight that he has, they would have shut him down a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
They would have.
I don't believe this answer at all.
No,
I don't believe it.
No, this is a garbage answer.
This is an absolutely unbelievable answer.
Mm-hmm. I know, God. Oh, that's nuts. All of this is nuts. Though going into it, I feel like there's a lot of dodging. You didn't stay. I think you.
No, and that was the entire purpose of it. It was just an observation, and I mean, you could ask the court staff. It was not uncommon for me to do that at all. They used to have an entire docket just for restraining orders. It was not uncommon for me to try to come and sit through the entire docket for restraining orders because we would often get cases from that. And so it was just,
So you're telling me that this lady has that much free time? Like that means you're not. If any of that is even remotely true, then you are not providing correct services to victims.
and she's also lying about what they do, because why didn't she say part of my job is that I go and I sit and I wait for victims? Like, you didn't say that. You said victims have to call you. So
Yep.
what are you doing sitting in court looking for victims? Then you just wait around for them to call you? I don't understand this at all. This doesn't make any sense. I don't believe her.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of bull to the she.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Get on your blue bucket.
You sit on a bucket throne full of lies.
Is that what's in that? Oh, wow. I never knew lies were so brown. Gross.
Lies and disgusting filth.
You mean like on Wednesdays when they have
what?
Right here. You'd be like, yeah.
I'm like, I thought you were still screwing around. I'm like,
No.
what's on Wednesdays?
What's on Wednesday? Huh? What?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I tried to observe those because oftentimes restraining orders in criminal cases will bleed together. They will overlap. And so I try to just observe, to have that knowledge of what's going on.
What a bunch of bullshit here.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Oh my, that's a bunch of bullshit. You know what? We are right at 9. I think I'm gonna call this place right where we stop. I know
25 pages.
Hey, yeah, but you know what? I mean, to be fair, we did a lot of setup and a lot of talk about it. I thought we did good.
I know. Yeah, not bad.
Really good.
Not bad.
I moved my pen. Can you write down where we're at?
Yeah. Hold on.
Right.
I'll write it by my blood pressure
usually have
results.
I usually have
a page 25.
We're right at the top, line 1.
Line 1.
I think it's a perfect place to stop, where we can
Okay.
find it again.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm going to note it in my phone, but I may forget about it. So, Amanda Martin, page 25, line 1. I've been trying to keep us to a certain, like not going crazy.
I know.
A couple of hours, and then super chats take a minute too. So I've been trying to leave the time for them. Are you going to stick for supers, or are you going to go?
I forgive you. I am going to stick around for a little bit, and then I'll probably not the whole time, but I'll be here for a bit.
Joan kicked it off first with 5 gifted memberships. That's awesome there, and then followed this up, by the way, with a 50 on that too. So that's one heck of a kickoff. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, for real. Like Joan said too. Breadstick and candy money. That's right. I've been playing the kids. So we have a few of those arcade games, those arcade 1-ups. You can buy those things for like, if you go to Walmart or something, they have displays of those. When they decide they want to get rid of them, they'll have the display a lot of times for like $150.
Wow.
And yeah, I got all but I think 2 of them I ended up buying, and then the others were gifts. Somebody bought us like a Mortal Kombat. But anyway, it's got that old game Rampage. Do you remember that? Where you're like a giant monster and you climb up the buildings and beat on them.
I never played that.
I've been playing that with my kids. They like playing it. We've been playing that in Jenga today. They're like, let's play Jenga.
Jenga's fun.
Yeah. It's really fun with the 5-year-old. I have to show her sometimes. Maybe don't pull the 2 bricks and just leave one on, say, the left side. That'll probably collapse the whole thing. Maybe we don't do that strategy. But she's actually pretty good for a 5-year-old at it.
That's a fun game for kids.
Yeah, I like it. Both the girls are playing. We've got another game now. I'm going to check it out. It's called Ransom Notes. You get like a prompt card, and then you get assigned so many magnet words, and you've got to like fill out your little ransom note to go with it, like make it out of magnets. I want to see what you can do with it. I got given that like a little while back. I want to see what it is. So anyway, Ozzy Allen, thanks for the 20 there. To use as you wish, and because it drives the haters mad. Indeed. Thank you for that too. To use as you wish. Awesome. Lisa, thanks for the 5. Don't take our gummy bears away.
Well, behave.
Indeed. I still can't believe we got that. Oh, I know what made us slower today. It was because of the Stark stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the
that was
wife
weird
thing.
and funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that pushed us back, though. Cunning Linguist, thanks for the 2 there. Money for Tug. And look at those square bullet points.
Not
For
funny.
Megan- for
Not
Megan.
funny.
What? They donated quite a few. Look at all of them.
They're not funny. Still not funny.
We can make that. We can make that a currency in, Megalodopolis or something.
Megalodopolis. I like that.
You can have your own little city, your own little city state. Be like,
I will not accept square bullet points as payments.
Red Wolf, thanks for the 10. Let's kick the tires and light the fires. Name that movie. Love you all.
I feel like I should know that,
Oh, Lord.
but I
Actually-
don't.
Give me a minute. I don't know. My brain. I don't know. I can't think of it. It'll come to me in a little bit though. I'm trying to think of what movie. What is that? What is that? Like, it's an alien movie. Fuck. Is that Independence Day? Maybe.
I don't
Is
think
that
it's
what it is? It's an
Independence
alien movie,
Day.
but I'm confused on it. Like we were talking about alien movies the other day,
Oh,
and I can't
the
remember.
chat says it is.
Independence. Yes, I was thinking. Somebody mentioned Fire in the Sky the other night, and that's what's got me thrown off because I'm like alien movie. I think. Yeah, that's it. I haven't seen Independence Day in forever either. That movie was much better.
That was a
than
good
it ever
movie.
had. Yeah, it was much better than it had any business being. You know,
True.
that was Will Smith pre-slap.
yeah, right.
Fallen Hero dropped a $3 super sticker on that. Thank you for the super sticker, Fallen Hero, by the way. Love those and appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Zilla, thanks for the 2. New name for Beelzebubbles. I like that, though.
Beelzebub Bubbles. I like it.
I'm going to go, I ain't going out. So he's not going out. Is that what you're telling me? I like Beelzebubbles, though. I like that. Freddie Prugger, thanks for the super chat there. New movie next week. Gainesville to Gainesville. It's a story about a lawyer who tries to learn things. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it's about a lawyer trying to learn how to read a map. It's amazing.
I forgot that Harry Connick Jr. was in that movie. That's right. God, he's not in enough movies. Harry Connick Jr. is an excellent actor.
God, I haven't seen that in a long time because I didn't even remember that, to be honest.
He's the one that says it. That's his
Yeah.
line, and he's fantastic. He's fantastic. Do you ever see that movie he's in where he plays a serial killer? With it's called Copycat with Sigourney Weaver.
Probably.
Oh, such a good movie, and he plays such a good psycho. But he can play any role. He's really very interesting as an actor. I really like him.
Let's see.
I got to jump actually, but thank you for having me in chat.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a great movie. That movie is a great movie. It's super scary and he's really creepy in it. And it's great.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. All right, we'll get out of here then. Go
All
take
right,
care of
I'm gonna
yourself,
go. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night, and you and your square bullet points, James.
Yeah, you were sent off on those square bullet points.
No gummy bears for you. All right.
So yeah, that's why she left. Actually, bullet points. No, I'm just kidding. My dog. Thanks for the 2. More exercise, less sodium. Walk more. BP will drop. Man, does that mean I need less exercise and more? So no, I'm just kidding. John, thanks for the 2. I'm 44 and my whole lumbar spine is fused. Yeah, I mean, when age, I don't know. The way I've noticed age is my body is like, you're not younger, and my mind is like, I'm the same age. That's pretty much how age works. When you're younger, you think something changes in you, and you do become smarter, more aware. I mean, that's Hopefully that's the way it goes anyway. Most people have that. You know, you have experiences that tell you, yeah, I'm not going to do those things. But the other stuff, and my favorite things to do. I'm here and I'm here. I'm not here. Breadstick money, y'all. Indeed. Thank you, by the way. I have my favorites. It's funny. Pam, what's up, Pam? Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to ThATuMBRELLAgUY. Thank you. Appreciate you. Sue, thanks for the 5. I'll call you both old if you start talking about this. Well, I'm definitely I'm feeling age, man. You know, that's one of the things. It gets on your mind, you know. I'm getting toward the side of my life where I feel mortality. That's a weird thing. It's a weird thing because I'm like, man, you know, never thought about that. You know, that's the thing. You think you know about when you're younger. There are certain things that could cue you into it, but you think you do, but you really don't until you start to understand that. I'm setting up my redirect for tonight too while I'm talking. But yeah, I've gotten to that point. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like feeling mortality, by the way. 1 minute. I'm setting up a redirect for Mr. Wiznut. He is on tonight. It'll be a fun one to laugh at. I like Shizzy. I think he's funny. That's why I redirect to him so much. Teresa, thanks for the 5 there. Tug, I love the bar dancer. Adorable. Wow. 20th. Super. Well, thank you. That's awesome too there. Love the bar dancer. Adorable. It says that again. That, again, thank you. 20. That's awesome there. And I do love that. I did love that freaking video. I have a lot of fun with it. April, thanks for the 2 there. Megan, checking in to inspire. Sleep apnea, no mask. Hey, check in to inspire. I'll mention that. I'm going to mark that just to see about it. Elu, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Elu. That's awesome of you. Pam, you dropped a gifted membership too. Thank you. And thank you again for your membership as well. Tease T rolled in. What's up, Tease T? Dropped 10 giftos on top of it. Man, that is very nice of you too. I love, like I said, I love gifted memberships. Those things are the greatest thing that is attached to this because it says, hey, you're part of something. I love that. James, thanks for 3 months. Love you both. And I love those square bullet points on each side. Love back to you, my friend. Love that here. My adventures in homebrewing. Thanks for the 5. BBB is ducking getting served. Yeah, I heard that being discussed, which was kind of interesting. You know, ducking service. It's not like it's gonna stop that from happening. I mean, sooner or later it will. You will get served. But that is interesting. If you just pretend it isn't happening, it's not happening, right? Ruth, thanks for the 12 months. Yay, 1 year there. What's up? That's awesome. Thank you there. Taz, thanks for the 4 months. Megan, stop mentholating the panty hamster, indeed. Doug, more Stogies and Coca-Cola. Health issues resolved, y'all. LOL. Indeed. I wish that's the way it went. You know, by the way, it's been a month and 3 days. No Cokes, no anything. Again, Southern means all soft drinks. I have drank some Sprite, again, the zeros, but no caffeine, no sugar intake. I mean, you get some sugar from like if I eat something and it has like a dipping sauce. That happens every now and then. Not much. I eat a lot of yogurt, and that's weird. I was just like, change it up. Let's see what happens. I have to say, body-wise, I felt better. So that's interesting. James, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships, by the way. Thank you for that, James. That's awesome of you. Appreciate it. Elu, thanks for the 2 there. YouTube malfunctioning. Only $2 supers or 1 member. That's weird. That's really weird. You know, there was a one thing too. So somebody, I noticed this yesterday. I went to Super Chat Megan, I was going to goof off in her while I was on there, and I went to Super Chat her the word square bullet points, and it wouldn't let it through. And it was the word bullet. It wouldn't let me say the word bullet. I thought that was kind of wild, you know. Green Veggies, thanks for the 10 there. This is sad. This guy's such a joke. I can't think of anything funnier. I know. It's sad. It really is sad because, again, it impacts somebody with such a horrific level. At the same time, man, so much of it, it's like watching a clown car pull into. Tracy, thanks for the month there. Is that Mercedes? A Matchbox car? Indeed. You have to wonder. I mean, that's so weird, isn't it? Kesha, thanks for the 2. My car died. No, my car didn't die. Again, I wonder who's been telling her. Like, does not you tell me again, if you've got this person that is telling you they're indigent. You have a lawyer telling you they're indigent. They have no money whatsoever. And then suddenly they start telling you they've fallen into a fortune. It does make you question, doesn't it? Like, where's that coming from? That's very strange, right? I mean, when I saw this, what else is this about? What else could this be about? Let me pull that back up here. Make sure it pulls it up here. Give me 1 second. I got to refresh my screen here. I'm making sure these things lock in before I mess with them. What else could this be about? Besides, like somebody else said, well, it could be life insurance, I suppose. Yeah, but that seems awfully weird. It's just they keep talking about big money, big prizes. So, again, they could remedy and correct that and say, no, it's about this thing. They do love to talk about it publicly. So we can see. What's up, Ray? What's up, Ray? Thanks for that. Hey there. Good to see Ray, by the way. Love the man. Hey guys, it's been a massive minute. Been full time I get it, son. I get it. Gotta be busy. Just want to swing by and wave. Love y'all indeed, man. Love to Ray, by the way. Ray's good people. If you need computer work done, like you need website, you need security on something, talk to the man. He met a lot of needs that we had from out and beyond that. Ray's just good people. He'll be around. Like, you can hire places to do work for you, but you usually don't have somebody that's available. With Ray, it's much better. So, man, love it. And I know, like, being a full-time dad like that, man, I get you, especially with a little one. Ooh, it's good. It's so rewarding, but at the same time, you lose a lot of sleep. Night owls, thanks for the fog. Had lots of fog banks this year. I watched this. Then my dad going around saying the fog is going to get you. Yeah, The Fog was a good movie. Always, how they do versus movies? I always thought it would be funny. The Fog versus The Mist. You have the lady, she's calling out where the fog, oh no, now the fog. It's gone down to Main Street and it's running into the mist. Ghost pirates versus monsters in the mist. That'd be funny. Susan, thanks for the 5. I may get back government disability, given his health issues. Man, if your disability thing, if that's your thing, and you're like, I'm gonna buy me a Mercedes, like do you see how messed up that would be, though? For real, huh? Like, it'd be absolutely just bonkers. Be like, yeah, disability, by the way. Rider Chick, thanks for the 5. Breadstick money. Ready for the laugh tonight. Went to the doctor, and not everything was good. So I need a laugh. I blame Jeremy and tongue. Wait, what? Me? No. You take care of yourself, by the way. You take care of yourself. And I know, every time I go to the doctor, that's what I think, man, more money. More money. But at the same time, still kicking, it's still having fun. So that's the other part of it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man. So like heart specialist with insurance, it's like $80 a visit. They just sent me a bill. They were like, well, we hooked up an EKG thing to you. That's another $90. Insurance ain't gonna pay any of that. Wait a minute. And that's not on them. You're paying. They they went, they did their thing. They were nice, by the way. They are. I really like my heart doctor. I really like him quite a bit. I love his staff. They're nice. They call, they check in. You know, they got like if I have a question, they call each time and they're friendly. When I went up there that first day, they were very attentive, very much so. I felt like I was going to fall out on the floor, and they were beyond so. So I do have to give them love for that. When I talk about money, I don't mean anything on them because they have been great. Emma, thanks for the 19 months. Thank you there. Man, parent buying too. She poor bung. She's much more of a grown up. She's over 5. Remember, that's true too. Yeah, we're talking about tantrums. You know, it is interesting. I've never seen like children learn pretty fast too. You know, children are me centric. You know, at that age, they understand. They'll tell you about love and everything, but they understand themselves and their feelings. That's how it just feels like a giant temper tantrum. You know, kids have that huge temper tantrums every now and then. And that is how it feels, though. But it just has never ended for him. It's crazy. Seth, thanks for the 2 there. JH needs to make Randy a t-shirt that says, he needs one that actually says, okay. Okay. I need one from him. That would be really funny. Red Wolf, thanks for 2. Need more snarkiness with the voice, Megan. Yeah, she adjusted. I thought that was funny. I like the accent. I thought that was really funny. Kasha, thanks for the 2. Amanda Martin is married to a Levy County deputy. Well. That's it's not really surprising. Again, you look at the way that prosecutors, a prosecutor's office, the victims advocates, the law, and more have treated this case, and you tell me there isn't something weird about it. Like, at what point, again, he's not punished for being a YouTuber. I think he's been punished because he's called out some problems in Levy County. I think that's the punishment there. It's my opinion. And the other stuff too. But I think, you know, when you start flipping over rocks, people don't like you looking there. Yeah. Well, Cajun Bayou Queen. Like the name there, by the way. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Well, thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs. Thank you for that. That's awesome of you. Amanda, thanks for the 10. I was a volunteer when my husband was active duty. We went with casualty assistance to help families and help them when informed of loved ones' deaths. We had more training than Miss Martin. Yeah, indeed. You'd be shocked by the amount of training or the lack thereof when it comes to a lot of the places, but especially, you know, the victims advocacy thing. Like I said, I've dealt with that myself, like firsthand, and it was not good. It really wasn't good. Like, there's some things that I don't talk about because I don't want to talk about other parties. You know, I'm careful about talking about that. But I could tell you some stories about stuff that happened with prosecutors, and I detest that whole system there. And I'm not saying that the advocate didn't try to do stuff, but they're either overwhelmed or they have no power. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely freaking ridiculous and frustrating. You know, you're like, why are they involved, period, in my life? Oh, Cheryl, by the way, sent a 5 again. Thank you, Cheryl, man. I appreciate you, Cheryl, all the time. Do that. And that, like I said, that is awesome of you. And also, Soaring Soul, Soul Soaring. I said it backwards. I don't know why. Sometimes I do that, but Soul Soaring sent 5 over as well. That is awesome too. Thank you. That is very cool of you. That is very appreciated too. Like I said, I appreciate all of you that support everything we do. I did buy, usually I've been watching what I buy and stuff, but I did buy some audiobooks recently. They had Audible is having some monster essentials sale for like starting at $3.99. You know, audiobooks are insanely expensive. So I was like, I'm going to buy a few audiobooks. Yeah, I go through them really fast. So thank you. I appreciate it. It's so what I do when I go to these doctor appointments. I listen to audiobooks. I go there, you know, if I can go by myself, just sit back, listen to audiobooks. Cunning Linguist, thanks for the 7 months, my friend. Thank you there. Welcome to the backside of the moon. Indeed. That is the very dark side. All right. Thank you for your membership there. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tux Thugs. Thank you for your membership. It's appreciated. Thank you. Elu dropped in that gifted membership. Thank you there. That is weird, by the way. You said you can only drop membership one at a time or a 2-bunger. That's what a bizarre bug in the system. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Oh, Carol talking about the 1-900 numbers. BBB 900. Get rich. WTH 1-900. So F around and find out. Indeed. That is indeed true. No, it is true. That's funny. Well, I know Hale things to do. Who's the real derailer here? Oh, I'm a stream derailer. I am very much a stream derailer. I am terrible at that. That's what, some people get mad about that too. But I'm like, a document is boring. A document by itself. If you just wanted to read a document, you could go and pull almost every document that you see, and you could put it into something like Speechify. You could have a Snoop Dogg read it to you if you want. I do. That's what I usually do. I have Snoop Dogg read it to me, but it's just a document read. You can do that on your own. Like here, I look at it like we're talking about a case. We're enjoying ourselves and we have fun. And yeah, the derailing is part of it. And I appreciate you all. You all stay here and enjoy it with us and you're part of it. That's good times there. That took him derailed this train right in the station at full speed. LOL. Indeed, Red Wolf. We did indeed tonight. It's been fun though, talking about stuff for that. Espinoza. Yeah, okay. I think I got your name right. I think it did. If I didn't, you can tell me. Thank you for the 10 there. There's not a statement attached, but that is a statement. Thank you for backing. Again, that is a huge statement. Any of you that back, that I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Navy Vet, love for the broken. Thanks for the 5. I went to a concert in the middle of a farm field once. It was 1969 at Woodstock. Indeed, I'm telling you, Bonnaroo is wild out here. It gets crazy. It's funny though. They'd have all these acts, and you can hear them miles away. But it is funny. If you go to a place like that, so here the police department, they prepare for Bonnaroo. They prepare to bust you speeding, parking. They gear up for out-of-towners. They look for vehicles that are from out of town because they know they're gonna nail. They may nail you with substances. God knows what they could nail you going in and out with. But they also know you're probably not going to come back and find anything. So you're easy money. So just be careful if you go to stuff like that. Just be careful for sure. And my favorites, thanks for the 2 there. Megan, watch out. I see a spider in your computer. It was funny. Like I said, I saw some of them running on the freaking keyboard. I do keep keyboard cleaner around, I keep you can hear me mess with I have a keyboard brush. What's over here? Like if you hear this, that's a keyboard brush. Or I have a little keyboard kit. One of them has like a little air pump. Like it's just air. You can hear this sometimes. That's me cleaning the keyboard. But I pulled out that freaking keyboard cleaner sprayer because I saw something. I was like, I'm not touching whatever that is. Bobby Bear, thanks for the 5. Appreciate that. Hello from Victoria, BC, Canada. I'm so excited. I just got home to find my Legal Vices sweatshirt. That's awesome there. Yeah, miss Jeff's laugh. Love you guys. I know. We were gonna have we had just talked about we were gonna have like a cigar and more show. Again, it would have morphed into something else, but we had set up something and we were gonna start it the week after everything happened. So it was just like, man, so full of plans, so full of life. Love the guy though. Love him. Knock it off. Thanks for the 2 there. I gotta be out of it. Who's Paint Chips and the other? They're the 2 weirdos that got brought in. So you had I'm just gonna use the name Volpain, and you had Luthman. He's Luthman or some shit. I don't remember. I just call him Luth because it sounds like somebody who's out of breath. Yeah. But you had these 2. They like to call themselves advocates. There's Luth there, Paint Chips. He has a pretty jacked up past. It's and when I say jacked up, I'm talking about prison, multiple years, quite a few crimes. He likes to lean on this stuff, make threats. He's actually created what would, under the newer laws, be considered revenge porn. I'm changing that last word, obviously, but he created a video that it had some. If you take somebody's face and you try to depict them in some kind of an act, if the person is identifiable, if you can say, yes, I know who that person is right there, and you depict them in there, that falls under revenge porn, 100%. So that was their first thing in there. You always have these certain people. You'll notice their first act when it comes to a woman is they always try to shame women with some kind of low rent, crude sexual thing. They don't have any points, so they always go to that, because oftentimes they'll try to break women. They think women are weak, and it's crazy. That's their go-to. This guy also, I'm going to name this now. So this guy, he also, he sent an email. He didn't know. I told you a little bit about this, but he was calling Jeremy an anti-Semite. Well, he wanted to tag in my wife and didn't know her email address. So I noted he put in any email address he thought would be the right one. He put in like a bunch of them. And on top of it, he went looking for her picture. And he was like, I'm going to put this on my articles out here. Basically, I'm going to dox this person. 100%. Is this their picture? He's like, what a piece of shit. He doesn't appreciate people talking about his past. I mean, these people are used to being able to go in and steamroll whoever they want, though. They can bully and harangue, because it's usually people that are in a courtroom that are dealing with custody issues. So you have people that come in and get them to, quote unquote, cover something. They raise a bunch of money with it, or they try to. Yeah, and then they get themselves involved in cases. And look at their tactics here. But anyway, that's who they are. And we've talked about a lot of the stuff that they've the backgrounds and more. So there's a lot on that too, if you're curious. Mama Bear, thanks for the 10 there. Between your stream of idiots trying to call David and the one time I try to watch the Flays, I just can't dumb myself down enough to watch a whole stream of any of them. I roll breadsticks. Indeed, that is one of the few. I've never sat down and watched like Miltoast. I've never watched any of his streams before that. They bore me. He's fucking boring. That is the worst sin of anything, is being terribly boring. And I'd never done. Now that stream entertained me, but it was not because they did a good job. It was because of the opposite. They were so inept. And, ineptitude sometimes. I'm not saying like, hey, every time I'm technologically proficient. That can be a joke in and of itself. But they had something that was supposed to be very serious going on. And it was just comical. If you missed that, you should go and check out the Rumble exclusive. By the way, on Rumble, so this is interesting and important. It shows you why showing up actually matters too. We were the number 2 show on Rumble that night. Out of the entire platform, we were number 2. We were there behind Timcast, and Timcast is, it's a huge political outfit. So they on Rumble especially, politics get pushed to the top. So becoming number 2 on the day, becoming the second biggest live stream going on, I mean, that's big. And again, that all falls to y'all. So thank you. Angel, thanks for the 10 there. Someone in chat said, Megan sounds like Vicki Lawrence. You do. Hashtag candy money for Logan Book. I'm going to have to do a comparison. I'm going to have to listen and then hear it together and just do a comparison. I think it'll be interesting. Joe Dale, thanks for the 2. Make sure you don't cross your legs doing your blood pressure. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like you can do the 3 of the standing, setting, and I mean, yeah, there's different things that you have to be aware of too. Yeah, but you're right. All kinds of things on it. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. Getting sidetracked about live stuff, so I have to watch on replay. But I'm curious how if LP showed for her deposition any word. Yeah, I'm not sure. There was another filing that came up in that, but it was like a notice of unavailability, but I don't know if that had anything to do with that or not. So I'm actually going to have to look at that. I'm not sure. Let me see if this chat says anything, if we've actually heard anything about that, because I haven't checked into that like currently. But anyway, we will. I'll see what I can find out about that, though. But anyway, I'm going to call it here. We are going to go over to Shizzy Whiz Nut. Like I say, I appreciate you folks. It was good. Yeah, yesterday we were talking about the Rumble exclusive from yesterday. There were 2 Rumble exclusives for the week, though. So if you want to check those out, there were 2 really good ones. You just go look up Megan Fox Rumble, and you'll find Megan Fox Investigates, or you'll find her. So just type that in, Megan Fox Rumble, and you'll run across the Rumble website. That's how I find the channel easily. I find it easier than going in and searching for the channel. But anyway, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to send you over to Shizzy. Tell Shizzy that we love him. Tell him we're sending over. Tell him it's Tug Ray. Tug sent you. And we're going to call it. Thank you. Appreciate you. Probably see you tomorrow.